As much as I dislike Casey Tron, I do appreciate her existence for one particular reason. She serves as the perfect reference point for what not to become. We compare ourselves to others all the time, but only when you compare yourself to Casey Tron do you feel like a god. I could be a therapist for 30 years, or I could be a therapist for one day that tells my client, hey, at least you're not Casey Tron, and I would have 100% consumer satisfaction. It would be remarkable. No school, no background knowledge needed, just that one-liner is shown to make all patients happier. It's crazy. Now, Casey Tron is getting sued by Ethan Klein. She also is constantly strung out and on drugs on stream, which is contrary to popular belief by 21-year-old college grads, not the best way to live life. It's just the truth. Now, if you know someone who is drinking or has a drug problem in their life, I challenge you to think about it in the sense that they're at least not streaming it on twitch.tv and getting sued by Ethan Klein, okay? So hey, it might be bad for them, but it could always literally be worse. You got 99 problems, but being Casey Tron ain't one of them. Let's raise a toast to that, huh? Little smart water. Does it make you smarter? I don't know. Casey Tron certainly isn't drinking it. We know that, okay? That should be their sales pitch. Anyway, guys, there are some updates regarding the situation of Casey Tron, Hassan, all the characters that we've been following in depth. Let's just get into it. Wow, doesn't she look stunning, guys?
Welcome back to a series so legendary, even Mewtwo is watching. In today's video, Hassan is now officially slandered an actual lawyer. Not a smart move. Legal Mindset has responded. Casey Tron continues to be a complete blundering moron, destroying any chance of winning her case against Ethan. Smart move.
Let's just take a look real quick.
Has responded. Casey Tron.
So this is Casey Tron. This is what we're looking at. This is the person who is streaming on Twitch and getting sued. Now, the problem with Casey Tron is a very fundamental one, okay? We've always heard of the stereotype of the hot blonde who is dumb, okay? A blonde chick, conventionally attractive, maybe the Margot Robbie phenotype, but she's not all there upstairs, okay? She's kind of stupid, stumbles, doesn't know what the capital of fucking Texas is or whatever. She's not that smart, but she's hot, so people treat her well. They look over the fact that she can't do 2 + 2 because she got a big rack, okay? That's just how that works. Guys, listen, we did this to ourselves. Maybe we're part of the stupidity crisis, but what I certainly don't understand is how Casey Tron, a person who possesses a record-breaking low IQ, is not getting, let's just say, the cancel out effect of looks and is still getting viewers, right? So if she was smoking hot, I'd be like, okay, she might be the dumbest person I've ever seen, but she's easy on the eyes. So I get why she has viewers. Maybe no listeners, maybe viewers they're watching on mute. They're watching with one hand on something. I don't know, but I just don't get it. It breaks my brain to even think about it. I don't know.
Continues to be a complete blundering moron, destroying any chance of winning her case against Ethan. Hassan is now also crying over people pointing out the fact that his family is rich and he is a nepo baby. Apparently,
that's one of the funniest things. Hassan has had money before he even was a streamer. His dad gave him a job at one of the largest news companies in the world. His uncle
recently went to a phase party and has been bragging about his wealth as well. Subscribe to witness the greatest series ever created. We're literally on episode 60, by the way. It's like longer than some TV shows at this point. Now, quick context for the situation. If you missed the last video, Hassan basically doxed and threatened a viewer for leaving a hate comment. He ended up pulling out his gun and threatening the wrong guy. After that, YouTuber and lawyer Legal Mindset actually called him out, to which Hassan instantly responded by slandering him and calling him a fake lawyer, a MAGA grifter, a passport bro, etc, etc. So Legal Mindset responded, I've started to enjoy when people resort to ad hominem, as it means they've conceded the legal point or lack the capacity for informed and objective debate.
Well, the problem with Hassan is that what else can you resort to when you don't know anything? Like, if you don't know anything, all you can say is that, oh, this person's a passport bro, which is just a more advanced way of saying that he gets no pussy. In case you don't know, passport bro is a term referring to a guy who is ugly and so, usually a white guy, who is so ugly and chopped and can't get bitches in America, and so he needs to fly to like Southeast Asia, where on average, like the women are shorter and they like Western men, so they are basically desired more in that circumstance. Listen, a lot of ball knowledge is needed to understand that term, but Hassan is throwing it around because he doesn't want to actually argue with a guy named Legal Mindset because he has not the most legal mindset. He does things that are illegal quite often. He streams himself at fucking riots, okay? If you're in attendance in a riot, you don't have a legal mindset, okay? Leave this one to the expert. Bro, look at his profile picture, okay? He's got the fucking LinkedIn classic. You're losing.
I mean, yeah, this is just a classic Hassan Piker playbook, you know? Insult the person instead of actually going for their arguments. Honestly, this is pathetic. Why even assert that you're political when you're literally not? That's an outright lie and used to put you on the side of the aisle and make it okay to attack you. Very cringe behavior. The only one bringing up politics is Hassan, as it's irrelevant to the objective legal analysis.
Hassan hates the fact that he's in a political box. Like, he wants to be enjoyed by normies so bad, and it's obvious that, you know, he does because of the way that he talks about, like, the phase parties and stuff. He really doesn't want to just be in this box, and I think part of that is he hates feeling like normies don't like him. So he always tries to make it so that the normies that are attacking him are actually secretly right-wing fascists, when in reality, they can just be normies. Like, obviously, there are some people who dislike him who are overtly right-wing. That's pretty obvious. That's pretty clear. But you know, like, normies on average don't fuck with this guy. Like, that's the truth. You know, people I've met who are literally completely tuned out from the world of online politics and are tuned out from politics in general. They don't know anything. They're apolitical. They're gamers. They fucking hate this guy. Like, they think he's obnoxious. They think his little sloganisms and the grifting is cringe. It's really that simple. And I get that. I get that you want the normie fan base to some extent. People who do not have political brain rot enjoying you, because that's most people in the world. Having mass appeal is something that most people desire, especially if they're content creators. But you ain't got that, Brody. So let's try to, you know, stop with the calling people that are normies right-wingers, because that's not true.
Now, we also talked about this last video, but Destiny's son Nathan was actually banned from Twitch for using a toy gun. Meanwhile, Hassan obviously faced no repercussions. So Legal Mindset responded, the Hassan incident has opened the door for Nathan to have a quite colorable cause of action. He should get with a local attorney ASAP. Right, so he also released a video responding to Hassan.
Hassan has slandered me, committed some defamation in response to my reaction to what was going on with Twitch and the situation with Twitch. However, when a channel of 1.7 million people spreads false information about yourself, clearly not having watched a single one of my videos or really knowing much about me, it seems, other than what the most deranged antis might try to cook up. I love the fact that you're going to see immediately how he jumps to ad hominem, because ad hominem, or personal attacks, when used as a debate strategy or when used to rebuke someone, actually represent a concession. That actually means you are incapable of making a legal argument or an objective argument or an informed argument. You're simply...
So what he's saying, I think, is right from a legal standpoint. I think other than that, I don't know how true that is. If I ad hominem someone, I'm not conceding a legal point, especially if I'm, like, let's just say, calling someone short. What are they going to sue me because they think that they're, like, legally tall or something? I don't know. But I think if Hassan is going to be taken seriously as a political figure and he doesn't know the law and he's going to call something, you know, call a legal expert and an ad hominem, when I just think it's a bad idea. I don't know why he would do that.
Trying to discredit someone personally to get around the fact you lack the capacity to actually argue.
Right, so Legal Mindset is witnessing what basically any person who criticizes Hassan has to deal with. Basically, he will start...
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't we know this? Like, forget the fact that Legal Mindset... I just love that name. The Legal Mindset. I love that. It's awesome. Forget him. He's been doing this to everybody. Like, this guy don't have no legal mindset. He bald. His name Tectone. Yeah, he's been getting called an R-word for months. So has Nux Taku. So has fucking Apex Crypto. He didn't get called a pedophile. He just got called a skinny bitch and was threatened with a weapon. So, you know, whether that's better or worse depends on you. But listen, the point is, no, he's a shitty debater. He's legitimately a shitty debater. There's one video that was on Trainwreck's channel from like 2018. This is before any of these people were popular. It was Sargon of Akkad, Destiny, Hassan, Nick Fuentes, and then Asmongold and Train. And this was like an old debate that they had done. And if you go back and watch it, it was before Hassan was even big. He got fucking dog walked. He legitimately didn't speak for most of the debate. When he did, it was something just completely random and didn't pertain to the topic. I'll be honest, it was terrible. It was a horrible performance. And you don't even have to go back that far. You can look at the Woodley Mac Show debate from like a year ago. He's a shitty debater. He's a shitty content creator. Overall, L person. Yeah.
Lying about you constantly, not really caring about any legal repercussions at all. He will instantly try to smear your name so that his audience will not listen to a word you say. And the easiest and quickest way to do that is to call you a fake MAGA grifter lawyer. So anyways, after this, Legal Mindset systematically shuts down each and every attack made against him one by one, starting with the fake lawyer accusation.
If I were to cover every Rumble lawyer, fake lawyer that it actually is.
So let's stop right there. Okay, so Rumble lawyer is very interesting. While I do have, I guess, still a Rumble account, I haven't uploaded it to years. I don't stream on Rumble. I only stream on YouTube, primarily as a major platform. I've tried the others. I don't like them. Now, fake lawyer is interesting, and I want to throw out here that that's possibly the most defamatory thing. Now, I want to give Mr. Piker some credit here because perhaps he knows nothing about me or knows nothing about the law. Well, clearly he knows nothing about the law. A lawyer is anybody with a law degree, whether or not they're licensed and practice law. So anybody who's gone to law school is indeed a lawyer. Now, attorney is someone above lawyer. You could say that word is perhaps not interchangeable, but similarly related insofar as they are not only a lawyer, not only do they have a law degree, but an attorney has to be licensed to practice in their state. I'm licensed to practice in the state of Florida. So I am both a lawyer and an attorney above that. There you go, Mr. Piker. That's a language. So that statement is indeed false, right? That I am a quote unquote fake lawyer because I indeed possess a law degree from the University of Florida.
Wow, so turns out Hassan Piker was lying. I never could have guessed. Not in a million years would I ever guess that Hassan was actually lying about something. Not like he's done it literally 1,000 times before. But yeah, the fact is, he literally has a law degree and is licensed to practice in Florida. So he's actually just completely making up shit. And again, I don't know how his audience doesn't look at this and go, wow, maybe the guy I'm watching is not very trustworthy, considering he literally makes up shit on a regular basis. Yet,
I mean, I don't know if calling him a fake lawyer was specifically to tell him that he doesn't actually have a law degree, because I just think of fake as someone who's like a fraud or whatever. And like, listen, the reality is I'm not running defense for Hassan. At the end of the day, he's talking shit to talk shit. And if there is a legal ground to, what is this freeze frame? If there is a legal ground to take his ass to court, then fucking do it, I guess. Like at this point, someone needs to do something about this guy in any way possible. If you have, you know, some case against him, take it. If you don't, then watch commentary videos of people talking about him negatively, I guess.
somehow these absolute lobotomites go to him for political coverage. They go to him with the expectation that they're gonna give him an
I can't get over this fucking LED sign in the back. Like, this isn't even his physique. Like, I've seen, like, no offense, and I'm skinny, okay, but like this is a little much.
Objective view of the politics. He's going to tell them how it is. But obviously, he knows nothing about the law, as Legal Mindset said. He knows nothing about politics either. But somehow he randomly becomes an expert the second he talks about any topic. Expert in geopolitics, expert in copyright law, expert in thinking the sun is a fucking missile.
What the frick is this,
is that
bro?
real?
Is it coming right at him? I can't tell. Oh, I thought that was the missile. It's the
Dude.
sun.
If XQC said this, we would all laugh, but this person has been to the fucking DNC, so I don't know about that.
Truly a impressive resume. He's like a shape-shifting chameleon, you know? He will automatically be granted a fake degree for whatever topic he needs to be educated about and pretend to know everything about it. Anyways, after this, Legal Mindset warns his son about continuing to lie about him.
So that statement in the future would be defamatory. With Mr. Piker, we do have to remember, and with myself and other figures, is that we are all public figures. So we follow the New York Times versus Sullivan standard. We have a higher standard for defamation. Now that that's been clarified publicly for Mr. Piker, and that he will well know that that information is false and defamatory, to continue to do so would perhaps incur liability.
All right, let me just save you the trouble here. As someone who's earned a PhD in Hassanetics, I can tell you exactly what Hassan is going to do after this. Is
Listen, I don't know what he's going to do after this, but at the end of the day, first of all, I didn't know about that court case or the ruling, but what I do know is that brass tacks, when you lie about someone in a negative way as a large person about another large person, you are opening them up to attacks and potential at the extreme financial losses and, negative effects on their life due to what you said. And if it's not true, then you could probably sue for damages. Many damages are financial, many damages are emotional, etc. And I think if someone would want to do that, it would probably be because that person who did that to them is deserving of it. So if Legal Mindset, goated name, decided that Hassan saying this shit opened him up to negative comments, negative feedback, whatever, if it affected his brand in any sort of way at all, he could go the route of a lawsuit. And God willing, he does, okay? I hope he does. Please, prayage.
Is Hassan going to correct his statement, say, oh, actually, guys, I was wrong. Actually, Legal Mindset is a lawyer. I got that fact wrong, and I apologize. Nope, not unless he smokes more than Caseytron. What's actually going to happen, and I guarantee you this, he will completely ignore the mistake he made.
This is one of the benefits of being a live streamer. If you say something, let's just call it retarded, you have a very shorter time to face consequences. Let's say that PewDiePie says the N-word, right? That is a moment that happens on a stream, but it's done by a YouTuber. And so PewDiePie has to bear he's also the biggest YouTuber, but he had to bear the consequences of that for a year. Hassan can say that someone raped someone, if it never happened. He has to bear the consequences for never, because he is a streamer. His audience is so cult-like that every single day, they've moved on from the fact that he called someone a rapist, and they're now focused on the fact that he called someone a fake lawyer, and they're only focused on that for 5 fucking minutes, because by the time that they're fucking thinking about it, what he just said, he's already calling someone else a kid diddler. So really, what he has is this ability to just be live perma, and it's his job, but he really goes live for 10 hours a day. So by the time that the controversy has even set in, his audience is already over it. And I remember this happened, I noticed this happened. There was 2 years ago or 3 years ago at this point, Too Mad, rest in peace the GOAT, had actually talked shit about Hassan at 8 in the morning at some point, and then later on Hassan responded, and part of his response was yo, this drama's already dead. Brother was 7 hours old. It's only dead because his fan base has been watching for all 7 hours, so they've already forgotten. So he has that kind of protection of almost every single day doing something fucking crazy that it pales in comparison to what happened the day before, or sorry, it trumps what happened the day before. So his audience is already always going to be on the next thing, and so it doesn't even matter. No one even cares that he slanders people because he does it every day. So we're forgetting which slander we're even on. It's kind of crazy.
Double and triple down, continue to call Legal Mindset a fake MAGA lawyer, and he will basically face no repercussions. I would say the real punishment is his credibility and reputation, but let's be honest, that shit has already been flushed down the toilet. There is no fixing his reputation at all. The local crackhead probably has a better reputation than Hassan at this point. Then Hassan talked about how
Caseytron stuns in new photo.
Crackhead probably has a better reputation than Hassan at this point. Then Hassan talked about how Legal Mindset only ever talks about trans people, which is, I've literally never seen him do that ever.
Like a fucking right-wing freak that spends most of their time talking about trans people.
Most of my time talking about trans people. The issues I have been covering lately have been the Ethan Klein lawsuit, have been Johnny Somali, have been Vitali. Now, unless you are counting something with Somali or Vitali as a trans issue, which I would struggle to understand how that would fit in, then yeah, that's not at all what my content has been about for the past years. Also, I keep politics out of my streams, and it was particularly over the last year, 6 months, definitely last 6 months and a year, I have endeavored to keep my streams as objective and educational and make it a environment where everybody is welcome. Even people who like Hassan Piker are.
Let's take a look at this. I mean, we don't need to take his word for it. His channel is public. I mean, Hassan, stop killing games. Yeah, Johnny Somali. I don't see anything about trans people. Mukbang influencer, is this person trans? Maybe trans fats? I don't know. None of this is, this is just legitimately, I don't see a single trans person here. I mean, I see some people that look trans, but no trans people. Is that a trans person? I don't know, but anyway, we're on the 3-month mark, and I'm not seeing it. So GG, go next. Also, not true. Good one.
Welcome in my chat, so long as they are civil, so long as they keep the conversation from violating the terms of service of the platform, because I indeed do care about abiding by the terms of service of the platform. I care about the law and educating people on the law. That's the core of my channel.
Well, Hassan also cares about educating people about terrorists, obviously.
Hezbollah is a paramilitary organization.
Do we like them or no?
I don't have an issue with them. Let's just say they are designated by the American state as a terrorist organization.
I do not.
Why does he have that fucking vocal fry sometimes where his voice tapers off at the end and it produces this Valley Girl sound? Like, literally, Hezbollah. Well, I don't have a problem with them. Dude, Valley Girls where they're like, literally, what? Like, Hassan got that same fucking inflection sometimes.
Issue with them. Let's just say
Bro, speak up.
they are designated by the American state as a terrorist organization.
I do not like them then.
Is he trying to farm comments that say like morning voice heart emoji? Like, I just don't get it.
Well,
War crimes are actually a good thing, guys. Did I tell you about my favorite flag? It actually has an AK-47 on it, a symbol.
I got hate for this, but I still think the flag itself is designed in a cool way.
I do not like them then.
well,
War crimes are actually a good thing, guys.
People
Did
are
I
like,
tell you about my
people are like, but the flag is bad. Yeah, no fucking shit, dude. I know the flag is bad. I'm aware of the fact that it's a terrorist flag. I'm saying the fact that it has an AK with a fist held up aesthetically doesn't look that bad.
favorite flag? It actually has an AK.
Like, this wasn't done in MS Paint. We can just admit that it was done by someone who, let's just say, cared about their cause. Now, the cause they cared about was terrorism, so it's bad, but they cared and it's done. Fuck off me, bro. I swear I get comments like this whenever I talk about this clip. But the flag, but you don't know what it represents. I actually fucking do. And that's why we're here and I'm talking about it with this over-prolonged disclaimer. Fucking twerps.
47 on it, a symbol of peace, guys. And I don't know why Hassan has gone and said this, because if you literally just go to Legal Mindset's channel right now, you can see that he's been mainly covering those topics like Johnny Somali and Vitali. He's actually been covering similar topics to us drama slop tubers, except he does it from a legal perspective. He does it
Legal slop. That's a new one.
from the perspective of a lawyer, because he has some better analysis about that stuff. He knows the exact sort of laws they might have violated. He obviously has more in-depth knowledge about that, so people go to check out his perspective on the situations. I mean, it's not very hard to do like a smidgen of research here, but here I am pretending that Hassan is actually trying to make a real argument, when in reality he's just completely making up shit to slander people. Then this next part, Hassan calls him like a drama pervert.
A lot of you are drama perverts, okay? And you nut when you think about the prospect of drama.
But, like, he's guilty of the same thing. Like, I mean, if we're nutting at drama, then his dick's definitely a little wet, too. Let's take a look at his channel. I mean, obviously, it's going to be majority politics and political stuff, but let's just say I don't doubt that there's some drama here. Let's take a look. Again, I don't have to listen to what he said. I can look here. Okay, so we got some politics, and it is a lot of politics. Let's see this. So past 6 days, past week is politics. And then we've got Liver King. That's drama. Asmongold. That's drama. We've got, what else do we've got here? I mean, listen, you know what? I'll give him some credit. He's not as perverted as the others. We've got some more Asmongold, but listen, your beak's a little wet. Your beak's a little wet. I'm seeing some drama here. Still talking about drama perverts, brother. I mean, how many Asmongold videos is this? I don't know, man. I don't know if you're Ethan Klein, Asmongold, like, you know, you're not drama free.
But I'm not.
I will say, I actually do not like drama. And in fact, on my channel, I try to avoid drama. In fact, even in carrying out my behaviors, I try to make sure that I am focusing more on the legal aspects of things. But what Hassan tends to define as drama, and what it appears he's defining as drama, is anything that disagrees with the things he's doing. So by somebody saying what you are doing is...
That's actually an amazing... Wow, I need that legal mindset, bro. That's a very well said thing. If you are just talking against the insanity, then you are being contrarian. Now, by being the opposing force to something as insane as what Hassan is saying, you're creating friction, and friction is going to lead to drama. And honestly, you may not even want the drama, you just want to oppose the insane shit that he's saying, and a byproduct of that is drama. So speaking up against something you disagree with can cause drama, but it doesn't mean that you want the drama, you just want to speak up and disagree for the betterment of, like, discourse or something. That's actually a great point.
Objectively risking lawsuits, it's objectively wrong. Or, for example, saying that, hey, your orbiter, Denims and Frogan, they're going to lose under copyright infringement. Here's the explanation of the law. Apparently, that's drama, to objectively educate people on the law.
Listen, objective reality does not exist in Hassan's universe. It's basically whatever I think is right and everything on the other side is automatically wrong. Which is why he just labels anyone he disagrees with as MAGA. Keep in mind, this is the same guy who thinks that slop tubers are working with the US government.
I honestly am where the fuck am I at, bro? WestJet? WestJet before me? Get this fucking Canadian off of here. Get this fucking Indian off of here.
And to arrest him. Absolute schizo. Also, I just gotta say this. Hassan is literally the drama pervert, okay? He actually tries to pretend that he's above it, but in reality, he freaking loves this shit just like the rest of us. If he really wanted to stay out of drama, he wouldn't be saying the most unhinged shit 24/7. He would actually try to mind his language, be like, oh no, I'm gonna get clipped here. But instead, he does the opposite. He actively feeds into it. He literally cries about slop tubers all the time. And obviously when he does that, we're gonna start covering him. And unfortunately for him, we're not the quote-unquote good commentary YouTubers, the ones that are basically completely on his side. Like
Ludwig.
Noah Samson or whatever. You know, the second guy who did a heart for the Houthi terrorist. Now, is the FBI actually watching the Pegasus channel? Of course, everybody is a Pegasus fan or a future
Low-key Peg. I don't... Should I call you Peg? Is that even appropriate? Why did I call you Peg? Low-key Pegasus. I don't know if you should be calling your channel a safe haven for feds. Low-key, I don't know about that honeypot operation, okay? Looking a little sus. Not Pegasus, just generally sus. I don't know, man. I don't know if you should be saying, hey, a lot of feds watch my videos. And so you guys are all on the FBI radar. I get that he's doing it to, let's just say, instill some fear into the Hassan orbiters and stuff. But I listen, brother.
Pegasus fan, this is simply a law of the universe. And don't worry, Hassan, they are coming for ya. Then Legal Mindset responds to the Passport Bro allegation. And
This is
basically,
so
if you don't know
insane.
what a Passport Bro is,
Passport bro is typically someone
It's a
that would-
guy who goes to an Asian country to get an Asian girlfriend
Yes.
who wants to date a Western man because the idea is that he can't get a wife in a Western country.
okay, here's what Google
Yeah.
is saying. Basically, Western men who travel
We went over this.
as a
It's interesting because the definition of a passport bro is typically someone that would visit a location for a short period purely for sexual purposes. And for anybody who knows anything about me, I'm a long-term resident of several countries in Asia. I've been a resident.
Okay, wait, so he is a passport bro. He's like, all right, I just didn't pump and dump. I planted my seed and I've been watering my crops.
Of the Republic of
I
South.
mean, listen, brother, ain't nothing wrong about it. Like, I dating is hard here, you know. If you gotta, you know, let's just say reset your seed, go to a different spawn point, then it is what it is. But
Korea, the Kingdom of Thailand, the Philippines, and Japan. These are all wonderful, amazing countries, and I do help people obtain legal visas and legal
but who cares? Like who cares?
residence long.
Like, he's kind of in an awkward way, in a very interesting way. Hassan is inadvertently shaming you for having a non-white girlfriend. If you do have a non-white girlfriend, I don't know if you do, but the implication with a passport bro is it's a white guy who's dating an Asian girl. So it's like, are you going to be racist? Like, it's almost a little racist to use that negatively, because it's just like, what, you couldn't date a white girl, you're dating down? It's like, whoa, hold on a second, that's kind of crazy. So I don't know. I mean, like, the implication there, we can read between the lines. I know it's not what he's trying to say. He's just using it as an insult against him to call him chopped, but it is in a strange way kind of racist, which
term in these countries because they appreciate the culture, the lifestyle, the quality of life, the peace, the safety, the tranquility. These are amazing things about living in Asia. Insist that perhaps the only person that perhaps between the two of us would be a passport bro is the individual who visited Berlin solely for the purpose of going to a brothel.
yeah.
that also is a fair comeback, right?
I don't know.
You know, he went to a whorehouse and got his willy wet.
Why he ever tried to say that when Hassan has literally exposed himself for being a complete degenerate. Not to mention these sort of environments and the conditions of working there is not exactly the greatest. So for someone who claims to
Didn't that and this is a question, I'm not implying anything. Didn't that brothel, like from what this is what I've heard, get raided for like questionable ages of the girls working there? I saw something about that vaguely on Twitter. I don't know much about it, but it would be interesting to think about if he was at a literal whorehouse that had underage girls.
Care about women and minorities. It's just a bit hypocritical and basically exposes what type of a person Hassan actually is. And I'm not familiar with legal mindset or anything that he did, but God forbid anybody goes to Asia to live there because it's a nice place. There's actually other reasons people can go to other countries rather than
Right. Well, yeah, the reality is, like, Asia and Japan, obviously there's the memes of very large men going to there because they're, like, obsessed with Asia and they're weebs. But it is nice. I haven't been there, but it's nice from what I've heard. I've heard that there's just unmatched beauty and shit you just can't get in America. So maybe I'll go at some point, but I fucking hate flying. I really do. It just terrifies me. I hate turbulence. I hate boarding planes. I hate all of it. I hate being in the air. It's like, no, like, we could fall. Okay, what if we fell? Have you considered that we could, like, fall and die? No, thank you.
a passport bro or whatever.
Who offers fucking courses on becoming a passport bro, who primarily fucking streams on Rumble.
Neither one of those things are true. I do not have a single course on becoming a passport bro, and I do not primarily stream on Rumble. I only stream on YouTube.
Right, so again, he just completely made up shit for no reason. I mean, it's actually just pathetic at this point.
Is lying patched? I feel like lying has been meta for like 1,000 years. You can legitimately just lie and that's it. Like, why? Like, just lie. Just lie about somebody. Lie about multiple things that a person has done and never correct yourself. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's so meta.
And how many times? How many times is he gonna lie? Then he talks about a law that Hassan might have broken.
And in fact, there's a California law, which was pointed out by a California lawyer friend of mine. He may have violated this statute, 653.2, involving electronic cyber harassment. So this is the statute which reads every person who with the intent to place another in reasonable fear of his safety. So if you have the intention to scare somebody else, to place them in fear of their safety or the safety of that person's family by means of an electronic communication device, a computer or a cell phone, and without the consent of the other person, and for the purpose of imminently causing that other person unwanted physical contact, injury, or harassment by a third party, electronically distributes, publishes, emails, hyperlinks, or makes available for downloading personal identifying information, including but limited to a digital image of that other person or an electronic message of a harassing nature about that other person, which would be likely to incite or produce that unlawful action. So he put out that photo and he engaged in those actions with the intent to instill fear in that other individual. So that individual could look into contacting California law enforcement, could look into that pertaining to Hassan, and take action thereby.
Honestly, I feel like the guy who was completely innocent in the situation.
I mean, he's a crypto bro, so wouldn't the best thing to do there just like sue Hassan, get a quick settlement for a few $100,000 and invest that all in Bitcoin? I don't understand how you're not doing this. Or at the very least, you can do like a GoFundMe or something, okay? Make some post, even a rage bait. We can go lowbrow, we can go highbrow, we can go to court, we can go to the timeline. It don't matter, okay? Honestly, what you should do is take the fact that Hassan slandered you and use that as an attention grab to, post your Bitcoin address, accept little donos, all right? It's not even that crazy. No one would blame you. Everyone would say, you know what, bro, I got you. I might even got you, honestly. Who knows?
The guy who didn't even write the hate comment and got harassed by Hassan definitely has a case on him, especially...
I mean, the only thing this guy did wrong was vaguely look like Quebble Cop.
Because Hassan refuses to apologize or take any accountability at all. I feel like he actually just thinks he's invincible and he can get away with anything. And lately, he's just been pushing every boundary as much as he can. Calling him a pseudo-intellectual really pissed him off. Please sue him. He's in dire need of consequences for his actions. Ain't no way Legal Mindset brought up Hassan's brothel trip. What the heck would a lawyer know about the law? Hamas piker. Hassan obviously knows more than the lawyer, of course. Hassan ethics, guys. Does Legal Mindset have a degree in Hassan ethics? Of course not. Anyways, Ethan responded too. He dropped a statement about the crash out. Hassan, you spent the last year calling me a doxer for doing the exact same thing, except you targeted the wrong person. I'm not offended by what you did. I just find the brazen hypocrisy funny. You and your underlings, that's a new one, have zero consistent morals. You change it day by day to suit your needs, and the audience plays along, reveling in the obvious double standard. Separately, I've never seen such unequal enforcement of rules as on Twitch. It's approaching criminal negligence. When Twitch inevitably implodes, I hope Dan Clancy ends up in jail or blacklisted from ever working in tech again. He said sacrificing the entire platform to protect one person. It's absolutely sick. Dan, I would heed this warning. I hear there's no gooning pillows in jail. But anyways, let's move on to the Hassan Orbiters. Now, last time we covered Casey Tron, she was
The face only a mother could love. Ah, Casey Tron, Casey Tron. How are you doing, sweetie?
you know, doing her usual stick of calling everybody an incel. And she actually ended up streaming a movie again after
Is there any fucking face cam there?
calling everybody an incel.
What?
And she actually
Brother.
ended up
Hold on a second. Is it the sub count at the top right? 3597? Bro, 3,600 people subscribed to this person. I mean, do they not know that it's like you can go to any public beach and whale watch for free?
streaming a movie again after being sued
Or tickets to SeaWorld. I mean, it's like...
for a copyright? So literally like the dumbest move humanly possible. Well, Asmongold has responded.
Casey Tron streamed a whole movie to fundraise for a copyright lawsuit.
I just don't understand how you don't think that's going to cause more problems. Hey, let's go and make, like, you know that video of Sam Hyde where he's like, I'm about to make myself retarded? Like that had to have been the pre-stream warm-up, right? Like, this is what you're doing when the stream says starting soon. I don't get how you're not understanding that maybe the foe in FAFO might actually take into effect sometime soon. The finding out part of after the fucking around, right? Like maybe streaming a movie that is, you know, equally as protected by copyright law as Ethan Klein's content, if not more protected, might be a bad fucking idea. You absolute grape. You absolute fucking potato. You absolute watermelon.
Oh my god. I actually think that she might be dumber than Johnny Somali. Really? Like, this is Johnny Somali levels of a
Dude, yeah, they're the same level retarded. Casey Tron's just too lazy to go around and harass people.
lack of self-preservation. It's actually impressive.
You can't make this up. You literally can't make this up. Dan Clancy doesn't care. He doesn't care whatsoever. People are abusing his system to watch movies without even her on the screen. It's not for criticism. It's not for any sort of review. It's just to play a movie to dangle keys in front of people, hoping they will contribute to her GoFundMe. Clear violation of Twitch's TOS, and also another example of copyright infringement. Clearly, but no one cares.
Why does this gentleman above the age of 21 decide to convey himself through a anime girl on the internet? I mean, I've seen this guy, Rev says Desu. I don't really understand why this, but enjoy yourself, bro.
I'm not gonna play this clip because she's playing Evanescence Bring Me to Life.
Banger song, though.
This almost makes you want to donate to her GoFundMe. It does. This is so stupid. This is so stupid that I just want to make sure it happens.
Dude, Caseytron might literally be the stupidest Hassan Orbiter, and that is a fucking achievement. I honestly don't know how you get this level of dumb. You are literally committing the same
Oh, I do know how you get this level of dumb. It literally requires you smoking weed every single day to the point where you're not only giving yourself negative EV to things like schizophrenia and other, like, you know, psycho level mental disorders, but it's also just going to degenerate you. Like, I don't know if you know this, but never being sober is just bad, right? That's not good. It's the opposite of good.
Infringement that you are being sued for. So you're probably going to get double sued, and this time not by Ethan, who you already think is rich, but somebody far richer, Universal. And of course, Twitch CEO Dan Clancy is not going to do shit about this.
He's so fucked up looking.
Always, at any moment, you can guarantee this.
Just kidding. He looks beautiful.
He is mid-goon sesh. You guys just don't understand the struggles of a legendary gooner. It is not possible for him to press the ban button because his fingers are too sticky. You don't understand the struggles of being a Twitch mod.
Read the comments. Typical cult behavior. F you incels. Oh god.
In the background, she's basically saying, all these Zionists are attacking me. Hassan, help me. Hassan.
Is Zionist like a code word for low-calorie diets?
Please, where are you, Hassan? He's not here. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about you. Dan.
Is Zionist like code word for dietitian?
It's a moon that fell out of orbit. It's going straight into the sun. What the fuck is she doing? I don't know.
Dude, I love how the orbiter terminology is catching on. We got the wonderful animation. And as the forefront expert on Hassan orbiters, let me just explain this situation to you guys. So basically what happened is Casey Tron's orbit has been disturbed, so to speak. So there she was, you know, happily doing her revolutions around Hassan. But what happened is the Ethan Klein asteroid actually hit her mid-orbit. And then she was flung into random motion in outer space. And now she has actively been dragged not into the sun, sorry Asmongold, but actually the nearest black hole, an anomaly in space that sucks in everything, all of her remaining money, all of her remaining dignity, everything that she ever hoped of doing, being dragged into the bottomless pit of nothingness, the place where time itself stops and nobody can escape. Absolute cinema. Now, the identity of the black hole remains a mystery, but some people are theorizing that there's only one creator that could possibly be that dense. But that's a story for another day. Then they talk about how Casey Tron is actually winning the race between the GoFundMes.
And Casey Tron, the dark horse of this race, somehow winning. Imagine being in a trio of lawsuits.
How is she winning?
I feel like the reason why Casey Tron has raised the most money
I'd love to hear the theory.
is because people want to. It's like a Kickstarter for like a TV show. This will be the most entertaining episode.
I mean, absolutely. Like, if this was actually according to followers, then Denims would be raising the most because she has more followers than Casey Tron and Frogan. But Casey is actually winning the race because she is the biggest train wreck. She is the biggest loser. And also, I think that something that contributed to her winning this race is that she tweets like 1 million times a day crying about incels. And obviously, there's an infinite amount of brain-dead Twitter people. So all these pathetic...
That's like a funny way to look at it, but what is the actual reason? Get this shit off my screen. What is the actual reason that she's winning the fucking fundraiser? Like how is she beating the other people? I legitimately don't understand that. Like, okay, here's my theory, okay? So my theory is that because she's been streaming the longest, she has a smaller fan base overall because after the time has flown, people come and they go, and then she's just washed up. But the people that are actually watching her, who have stuck around for the 10 years, are willing to give more to her because they have been affected by her content the most. Whereas like Frogan and Denims, they've been streaming for less time than she has, and so therefore they're gonna have less dedicated fans, people who have been watching for maybe a long time, but not as long as 10 years, right? And so the 10-year watchers, the literal decade pathetic watchers of Casey Tron are going to be giving the most money, I would assume. Like, me and my husband and his boyfriend have been watching for 10 fucking years, and we hate to see this evil Zionist attack you. He probably also wants to eat a salad. That's insane. Here's $1,000. Like, that's what I think might be happening. I don't know, though.
And obviously, there's an infinite amount of brain-dead Twitter people. So all these pathetic losers, identical to Casey Tron, essentially go, well, actually, my queen is being harassed by men, so I gotta donate my last bit of money here to anyways eventually have it go to Ethan. So I find that hilarious. Then Asmongold gives her the absolute most brilliant idea.
Why isn't she just like, I mean, she loves smoking weed. Why doesn't she just open like a dispensary or like sell like weed?
I love it. I love it. Oh, it's good. I love it. Like, yes. Why would I just do that?
You can sell salvia where she's at, but like, I mean, she's obviously really passionate about smoking weed. Like, and I mean this in like a completely non-toxic, non-harmful way.
I mean, that actually makes a lot of sense. Like, legitimately, if that, like, that's what she loves. Like, she loves weed. She loves smoking weed more than she loves streaming. And whenever she's streaming, she's smoking weed. They're inseparable. I mean, why doesn't she just open a dispensary? She could IRL stream at the dispensary. It's not even that crazy of an idea. Denims and Frogan, they love politics. They love Palestine. Casey Tron loves weed more than Palestine. Like, honestly, you know that guy on Instagram Reels who's like Black History Month, or this burger? Like, some of you guys might know who I'm talking about. Very niche reference. It's the guy who makes ridiculous hypotheticals. It's usually Black History Month or some other shit, right? He's a black guy. He asks the questions. It's funny content. I honestly honestly think if Casey Tron was asked, would you rather get unlimited nuggets of weed for life with chicken nuggets because you smoke one, you want to eat the other, or Palestine liberation, she'd be like, I gotta go with the weed plus chicken nuggets. Like, cause it's like, well, let's say we free Palestine. Am I free now? No, I'm shackled to the fucking shackles of soberness forever. She can't do it.
What Casey Tron should do is she should start a weed shop and make that her content. I think it would.
Is that not what I just fucking said?
I think it would be the best idea that she could possibly have. Now, I understand that a big problem with this is that it would take
work,
take time and effort and work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a lot easier to just be asleep and lay on
and have a movie play
the floor and complain about men.
Hey, don't call out her job like that. It's a tough job. And you forgot the most important part. The hardest part, saying the word incel every 5 seconds. It's incomplete without that. Legend says she gets her non-existent salary cut in half unless she says it every 5 seconds. It's like a curse that's been put on her. Poor Casey Tron, man. I genuinely hope her husband gets off Grindr and, does something about this situation. Maybe your knight in shining armor can finally save you from all this. Oh wait, you're both broke. You're absolutely cooked and you deserve all of this.
And by the way, they assume it's only men that dislike them. Ladies in the chat, all 10%
No,
of
all of the women that dislike her are actually
pick-me's.
Just pick-me's that are looking for attention from men. That's the only reason. It's either I'm right or you're lying. Like, okay, yeah, that's pretty easy.
you of my audience.
How convenient.
Do you like Casey Tron? Are you on her side? Let it be known in the comments section. I have a feeling you're not on her side.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Plenty of women don't like Casey, but she likes to pretend that it's all men because that will help her keep her worldview, right? Anyone that disagrees is just wrong. If you're a woman who disagrees, you're probably a pick-me or like a MAGA right-wing grifter. You're controlled by the patriarchy. Just complete, utter...
Or it's internalized misogyny. That one they love to use, which makes no fucking sense at all. How on earth can you criticize a member of the group that you belong to and it be something where you secretly hate yourself this whole time? How does that make sense? How does it make sense that if I, like, imagine I criticize, like, oh, I'm criticizing Hassan. That's because I actually hate men because I hate myself as a man. Like, what are we actually talking about here? Can we make any of this make sense, guys? Like, seriously, let's work on it, please. Improve.
Delusion. Then they talk about the other orbiters.
Denims has received $10
Big day.
$10 in the last 12 hours? Wouldn't you get better ROI literally going door to door?
Big day. Huge day.
Frogan is someone
Why
who
does
is
she have that as her Twitter fucking pro? Why would you do that?
She is someone who said that American soldiers deserve PTSD. And isn't it funny that the top donation from that previous video,
PTSD. Put that salad down. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. No, that's the opposite, actually. Pick that salad up. Don't fucking... No PTSD.
a few days ago, was from a former military person, a veteran saying, tell Frogan I meant to donate to her, but I guess my PTSD got the better of me.
Oh my god.
Freedom isn't free, okay? I am blessed to be able to sit here with my cowardice loser ass to sit in this chair and talk about internet drama for a living. I am blessed. And the only reason I can do that is because of people like this.
Think about living in Lebanon or living in, I guess Egypt doesn't have as much of that stuff, but obviously Palestine, Israel, Iran, fucking Ukraine, Kiev. Yeah, think about that, right? It's such a tremendous privilege that we as Westerners have that it's a fish in water. I don't think that
I can literally make planet jokes about people in this video whose names you can guess and get paid for it. And I think if the price for me being able to do this to make money and eat food was someone going out and having a war with another country so we can establish laws, then that person has nothing but my uncontested respect forever.
Appreciate and respect that enough.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, just being in a safe place and feeling safe on a daily basis is an insane privilege. Without the amazing soldiers and officers, you know, just defending whatever country you may be in or defending your city even, protecting you from criminals and violent people, there would just be chaos without that. And a lot of people forget that. Without our civilized society, essentially we are, you know, forced to fend for ourselves. And turns out that is a very brutal environment if you just look at, I don't know, fucking animals, right? So I don't know, you gotta show your respect for the people who actually go out there
Obviously.
risking their lives for our
Right.
sakes to, you know, protect the people they love,
Right.
to protect the country they love. And it is only people who are super privileged and spoiled rotten.
That is true. I've also noticed that it's people who have never had to actually think about their freedom who are the most taking it for granted. Like the people who never have to think about the fact that, you know, someone gave them the privilege to be able to speak against the government on a platform like Twitch and get paid for it, who never are appreciative of the fact that they have that right. It's the people who do it who aren't grateful for it. It's actually ridiculous. The people who basically use it the most, who are the least appreciative of it. It's crazy.
Who can say shit like this. Frogan sitting on her ass eating 50 pizzas like, oh, American veterans should all get PTSD and die, while actively benefiting from the protection they provide. Just
Right,
absolutely
yeah.
disgusting shit. And only somebody so overindulgent, you know, in society and consumption could ever say something like that.
I do genuinely believe that bad things do happen to bad people. And so whenever I see somebody saying this, I think it's just a matter of time. And whenever it inevitably happens, I will be there to laugh.
Anyways, let's move on to Hassan, bragging about his money, but also crying about when
Oh,
people
boy.
point out that he came from money. So somebody posted this on Reddit. Twitch Social is bragging that he makes the most money out of anyone at the FaZe party.
Oh, this fucking guy. Something about Hassan is I feel like he would be that rich kid at private school who would wear a shitload of expensive clothing, like designer clothing, but he would be the person to literally speak over a immigrant in the same school whose family comes from a war-torn country and interrupt them the moment that they would talk about something about appreciating America. It would be that person who decides to say, hey guys, hey class, my family comes from a war-torn country and we're glad to be here and we're privileged to be here. And Hassan, in luxury clothing, who was driven to school in an Uber XL for no reason. He's the only one in the car. He had the extra seat for his backpack, his Gucci backpack. Literally interrupting this person to say that America is the worst. Have you considered war? Hey, bitch. I did. And I came to the conclusion that it fucking rocks. Not war, America.
You're valid and fair. All right, Hassan said I make more money. What about you? How much money would I have to pay you to jump in the pool? Okay, no worries.
I make more money than everyone here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Like Hassan, we part of the same agency. They bring home the bacon. That's just how it is. I mean, like
Asmongold probably mugs Hassan in terms of finances, though. And they both fucking molest me, so.
I wouldn't go around.
I mean, the way I see it, right, is like if you look at the drama slop tube sphere, it's like, I mean, money-wise, like, I've thought about this sometime. It's like you got Asmongold up here, you got Tectone down here, you've got Nux Taku down here. No offense, Nux. I mean, being down here is still being rich. Then you got me down there, and it's like, so we're cooked.
And say that, but like, you know.
And I'm talking about like streaming reactions. So it's like Asmon, Tectone, Nux, me. And so we're gonna make this our summer, and we're gonna make summer our bitch, and we're gonna turn up, and we're gonna get at least tied with Nux. I mean, it has to happen.
It is what it is.
What a socialist, guys. He just has to point out that he makes more money than everybody there. And just a little bit of context, this was the FaZe 4th of July party filled with a bajillion content creators. There's literally people with over 10 million subscribers here. Literally a
Yeah, there's no way he makes the most.
room full of
FaZe? Nah, it's FaZe. Like
multi-
doesn't some of those normie streamers like Lacey and Ronaldo make more than Hassan?
millionaires. And
Some of them
Hassan
have
is
to.
bragging about being the wealthiest there. Now, I don't even know if that's accurate.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
don't
bunch
know.
of like titans there as well. So I don't know if it's true, but it doesn't matter. It's the fact that he thinks he is and the fact that he's still bragging about his money. Hassan, what?
Is that Amaru?
It doesn't matter. It's the fact that he thinks he is.
Oh my
and
god.
the fact
I think that's Amaru. I'm gonna be so fucking... That's so racist if I'm wrong.
that he's
That's so racist if I'm wrong. Please tell me that's Amaru.
Still bragging about his money.
I even forget the point that I was going to make.
Hassan, why don't you put your money where your mouth is? I mean, you have so much extra free money.
Okay, but Pegasus, Peg, my boy, why would he fucking redistribute the wealth to the wealthy? That doesn't make sense.
Why don't you donate half your income to Gaza and help
Okay. I thought he was going to say the streamers at the party.
Palestinians instead of actually just standing on their graves and using them as a defense to any argument ever. You can't criticize me. There's a genocide going on. And while you're at it, why don't you donate
there is a genocide going on to my fucking wallet, okay? I gotta get my money up and not my funny up. Sheesh, bro. How he rich and I'm poor? How? How does that make sense?
Other half to Casey, Tron, Frogan, and Denims, your literal moon orbiters who have done nothing but support you this entire time, and here you are completely ignoring them while they are about to be ruined by Ethan. Or of course, you know, you can buy another mansion, go to more parties with a bunch of, this is literally like a rich elite party. Don't worry guys, Hassan is,
dude, it's like one of those fucking things in what's that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio where it's like there's the gif where he's in the suit and he's got the what is it called? Oh, I gotta have to look this up. The Great Gatsby, it's that one. It's like one of those Great Gatsby parties.
For the working class. Now, people were also calling out Hassan for his family being pretty rich, and he just had a meltdown.
Is he a millionaire genuinely? No, dude, I take care of my whole family. Does this chatter not realize he's talking to the son of the guy he's talking about? The you need an article for? I can see why you would want that to not be the case. First of all, what difference does it fucking make for me if he's a billionaire or not?
Of course. What difference does it make if my dad's a billionaire, guys? It's no difference. Well, it makes a huge difference because you're...
I mean, even if your dad's rich, like, the reality is there's being rich and then there's billionaire. Like, I don't even think billionaire is rich. Billionaire is a different thing. It's different. Like, it's like there's being, like, GM in a game. Like, that's like, oh, shit, there's good. And then there's being a pro player. The gap between a GM and a pro player is it's different, right? Like, you can be literally top 500 in any game and then there's a pro player. The gap between, like, being top 500 on the leaderboard and pro, it's immeasurable, right? That's how I view it. Like, there's making $1 million a year. There's making $1 million a month even. $1 million a month. And then there's making, you know, like 100, 200, 300 million a year. You know, that's just a different fucking level. It just is, right?
A fucking Nepo baby. You have no idea how the world actually works, and you like to pretend you understand the problems of the regular person. Meanwhile, you are actually completely out of touch living in your goddamn multi-millionaire mansion. Also, just saying, if you can bring up Tectone's dad saying that he inherited sexual assault genes, then people can bring up your dad.
Oh,
I mean,
true.
can you imagine if Asmon's dad was this mega rich multi-millionaire? Of course, Hassan would nonstop be crying about it. Oh, he never worked for anything. He had his career handed to him, which is exactly the case for Hassan here.
What happened to this argument where it's like these people went from, dude, you're rich but a socialist, to like, now you're rich and your father is rich. He's not. He used to be. It's not something that I've kept a secret. My dad used to be pretty, I mean, rich for Turkey, right? Not in those lists or anything like that, but by the time I got to college, he was not. I didn't link it. Your moms are soft as baby. She and must keep your fragile Echo Chamber alive. Okay, chatter. Anyway, let's continue. How do you lose his wealth? Futures trading. The Piker curse.
Okay, so he's talking about the Piker curse here. Apparently, this is a thing where, like, his
Damn, he got paper hands. All my traders in chat know.
family always gets rich and then loses it all conveniently so that he can continue his socialist grift, obviously. Right, so let's just look up Hassan Piker's father. His father...
Fuck, bro, it's low-key kind of funny. I low-key kinda get where his dad's coming from, bro. One of my boys, shout out Ethan, bro, he was trading futures for a bit. He got swallowed. He got eaten alive. Let's just say that week we had some beers.
Mehmet Piker is a political scientist and economist who served on the board of directors and as vice president of Sabank.
Oh, bro, it's got holding in it. I mean, it's done. Holdings? Yeah, you're rich.
Holding, and a founding member of the Future Party in Turkey. And then if you look at the net worth of this holding, it's 12.93 billion USD. Market capitalization is 5.4 billion. Right, so obviously that doesn't mean his dad is currently rich or anything like that. But Hassan did admit he was rich at one point. Don't really know, there's not much information about that, but we do know that Hassan's uncle is a confirmed multi-millionaire. It's Chunk Yogurt, you know, from the Young Turks, who also gave Hassan his entire political career. So yes, Hassan is absolutely a Nepo baby and has never had to struggle in life and has basically been handed everything he has. So you guys messaged me on Instagram about this. Apparently Hassan has talked about this before.
Dude, you're doxing my fucking dad while while also claiming he's a billionaire. I've never even seen this fucking website. 5 billion net worth is $5 billion. I still did not have to work to you know, ensure that I took care of my family. That would have over my schooling in the process. You know what I mean? There's a tremendous amount of different societal pressures that I did not have to withstand as a consequence of growing up affluent. Even if they had no money by the time I got to college, it still doesn't matter. But because of the affluent position of my family at the time, I still went to a really good private school.
Right, so apparently
That was a guess earlier, by the way.
people bringing up his dad, who he himself has brought up multiple times in the past, is doxing him. Also, funny how he cares about doxing considering what you literally did the other day, trying to harass a random guy in front of your stream. Also, he basically did admit that he just grew up very wealthy. But apparently a genie just came out of nowhere and stole all of his dad's money, guys. Apparently he was very, very ultra rich, and then I don't know what the hell happened. He's just stupid with his money. I don't know how stupid you have to be to lose that much money.
You can get fucked on futures.
But I don't know, nobody really cares that he was rich. It's just the fact that he tries to pretend he was not this Nepo baby.
Yeah,
he tries to
the main
pretend he
issue. It's a
understands the
LARP.
struggle of a common man, when he absolutely just does
He
not.
don't.
Now click this video, or you have to marry a girl like Casey Tron. Sorry.
All right, well, banger video, guys. I forgot how much of this was not about Casey Tron, how much about it was Hassan, but he deserves it. He does.